lied to people about the farming, about the tax. They've lied about where they've got the clothes from. They've lied about a CV. Rachel Reeves about a CV. I mean, it's just, and she's I mean, you know, everything that comes out of their mouths are lies. How can we trust this government? We need to get rid of them. Can you look at the numbers? How many people he got in? He didn't get many votes, and those people who voted for him now are having second thoughts. So it's not just the farming; it's everything. It's civil liberties. We've got people locked up for tweets, and we've got paedophiles walking the streets.
Paedophiles walking the streets.
That was very poetic. Well, it's true, isn't it? It's disgusting, and people can see, and he can try to shut us down as much as he likes, but it will not work.
Yeah, and like, you know, look, we shouldn't overdo it in the sense that lots of people they've just got legitimate, you know, concerns about it and so on, and aren't necessarily sort of conspiracy adjacent. But I think what's certainly true is that there is a culture of discontent growing online. We've seen it obviously in the US. We're seeing it over here, of sort of backlash on the right. It's interesting as well, there's quite a few people holding, you know, anti-net zero signs. There are lots of people doing some anti-vax stuff as well. These sort of things always sort of generate some of these sort of people. So again, we shouldn't overdo it. But it's certainly true to say there is a level of vitriol targeted at Reeves and Starmer in particular, and this is where the sort of politics I think is dangerous, is what you've got potentially is you've got three things happening. One, you've got a traditional kind of anti-Labour feeling by rural areas, which is usually there. They feel that Labour just doesn't get the countryside. There are about 100 Labour constituencies now with rural or farming communities, so that's not entirely true, but the politics of that will play itself out. It's difficult. You've got that online discontent, which is being fueled by the right, and I think it's no surprise you're seeing a huge number of sort of reform-minded people here and reform signs and so on, and I think it is them. It's no surprise Farage is here. I think it's them who are probably the most likely kind of beneficiary of this. And let's not forget, UKIP in its heyday, or initially anyway, was very concentrated in the shires, in a discontent in the shires, and I think Farage will be looking to fan that enormously over the coming weeks and months and keep this sort of discontent going, because I think it is going to grow.
I've got to point out the irony of all this, and you're absolutely right in what you say about, you know, kind of Farage and Reform trying to fan this. 53% of farmers voted for Brexit. When we were in the European Union, farmers had this wonderful feather bedding thing called the Common Agricultural Policy. It gave them the subsidies that are now being phased out. A number of farmers have been honest enough here today to say, look, this is the straw that's broken the camel's back. You know, the inheritance tax thing is just one thing after another.